This is the second page in my new ink journal. Things are considered new by me for the first few times I use it, for things like this anyway. I mean, I wouldn't call an open package of bacon new, even if I just bought it 3 days ago. Then again, we don't cook bacon one strip at a time. No, it's a half a package at once, which is like 6 or 7 strips. Hi, I'm Irene. This is Inkworks, and I've got bacon on my mind, which is apropos of nothing, because this session is otherwise bacon-free. However, if you're now craving something bacony, check out the video titled A Polychromos Breakfast from last April. That's right, I sketched some breakfast foods, and it was one of the most fun pieces I've ever done. This session, though, has less to do with food than florals, because the ink on display here is Diamine's Cashmere Rose. I have no idea if there's a rose variety called cashmere, but I do know there's a cashmere rose perfume. It's just unfortunate that many perfumes induce headaches for me, because I actually like a subtle rose scent, except when it comes to food. Long ago, a friend sent me a box of Rosewater Turkish Delight from the UK. Now, I'd never eaten rose-flavored anything, and the closest I'd gotten to real Turkish delight was applets and cotlets from Liberty Orchards. So I was bouncing with excitement. But when I opened the package and got that first whiff, I knew I was in for a rough time, because it smelled exactly like perfume. And the one and only time I'd ever tasted perfume, it made me gag, and the flavor wouldn't leave my mouth until the next day. Look, I've had some strange things in my mouth. Ballpoint pen ink, those awful orange candies called circus peanuts, and even a toy gun cap. You know, the red paper thing with flash powder inside. What can I say? I was a curious kid. The point is, I recall being shocked and even a tad miffed that anyone would commit such a crime against otherwise perfectly good candy. The experience put me off of floral flavors for a long time. Speaking of floral things, when I was a young adult, I attempted to acquire a taste for Earl Grey tea. It seemed to be the cool thing. After all, it was Captain Picard's beverage of choice, but it always tasted wrong to me. The way black licorice tastes wrong. Now, I know, in the case of Earl Grey tea, the culprit is oil of bergamot, which comes from the rind of the bergamot orange. The scent is both citrusy and floral, and while I like a good citrus, the floral aspect ruins it. Eventually, I called it quits, because there are plenty of other teas out there I could be enjoying, rather than suffering in a one-sided relationship with the Earl. The paper here is Sansen's Tomoe River 68-gram weight. I'm guessing between 50 and 100 sheets will fit in the ring-bound plotter binder, so that should serve my purposes well for the foreseeable future. Earlier, I'd mentioned applets and cotlets. They're a treat I've been familiar with since childhood. They were easy to come by since the company, Liberty Orchards, is headquartered right here in Washington State, in a city called, believe it or not, Cashmere. Applets and cotlets are the same type of confection as Turkish Delight, which is called lokum. It's made with sugar, starch, flavorings, and sometimes nuts. Liberty Orchards uses apples and apricots in their applets and cotlets. See what they did there? But they also make additional varieties, such as pineapple, strawberry, peach, and others. So, the city of Cashmere is on the eastern side of the Cascade Mountain Range and only about a 20-minute drive from Leavenworth. Leavenworth is known for its Bavarian theming and is a popular destination in the winter months. During the holiday season, the entire town center is decorated and lit, plus there's plenty of shopping and dining there too. Beyond town center are places to ski, sled, tube, and ride an alpine coaster. It's been a while since I last visited, but I check in on their live cams this time of year just to look at the snow. By the way, cashmere wool comes from cashmere goats, which are mostly found in China, Mongolia, and Afghanistan. It's known for its softness, warmth, and durability. It's also rare due to limited production and complex processing. Basically, the animals produce limited amounts, and the soft undercoat must be separated from the coarse outer coat. This makes cashmere wool expensive and thus a luxury commodity. I'm going to tug on the thread of word association here by confessing that the term cashmere makes me think of the movie Lord Love a Duck. The cashmere thing is just one of many odd story elements. I'm not going to get into it here, especially because I'm pretty sure it's mentioned in one of my older videos. What I really want to talk about is the star of that film, Roddy McDowall, or perhaps I should say the late and underappreciated Roddy McDowall, because sure, he was in some forgettable stuff, but there are some movies I remember so well because of him. Lord Love a Duck, Planet of the Apes, Legend of Hell House, Dead of Winter, and Fright Night. Also, a couple of my favorite episodes of Twilight Zone and Night Gallery. Needless to say, I was devastated when his character fell to his death in the Poseidon Adventure. That's one 70s movie I can watch over and over. Can't say the same for Arnold. I must have been only 5 years old, but I have vague memories of seeing the movie Arnold at a drive-in theater. It's a silly horror comedy. McDowall played one of the relatives of a dead rich guy who fight over his will and are one by one mysteriously killed. I don't recall seeing that movie since, and I never hear anybody talk about it. Make of that what you will. But if I'm going to pick a favorite Roddy McDowall role, it would be Peter Vincent, Vampire Killer, from the original Fright Night film from 1985. Although it has a following, I'm not a fan of the movie. That said, I think Peter Vincent is one of the greatest horror movie characters ever, and that's thanks to McDowall's fabulous performance. Usually, I try to connect my tangents to the video's main themes, no matter how tenuous, but this time it's just gonna hang there all loose and stuff, because life is like that sometimes. I'm happy to share this ink journal session. In my opinion, Cashmere Rose is a very pretty medium shade of dusty pink, free of frills, meaning no shimmer, no sheen, and no chocolate sprinkles. Until next time, remember, some things are perfectly fine without fancy extras, like gold leaf or rose petals, while other things benefit greatly by the addition of half a package of bacon. And stay artsy, my friends.